Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. Most people remain within a sexless relationship because they're diagnosing it wrong. When it comes to diagnosis, this is one of the most misdiagnosed thing in the world, where most people pay a ridiculous amount of money in order to try and change it and not get a result, which is absolutely disgusting from my point of view, because I can judge because we helped 239 men in 2023 to get empowered within their relationships because we figured out a way of diagnosing it correctly. And I know when you go initially start looking to figure out how to fix a sexless relationship, whether it's on Google or YouTube or whatever, you're already starting on the wrong foot most of the times because they're not diagnosing it right. I'm trying to hammer this home so that you can really just tell me how to diagnose it so I can fix this. If you hang on for a second, I will. So a lot of the times it's centered around, you find yourself in a sexless relationship, you want to fix it. The most information you're going to read initially is you need to sit her down and then you need to talk about it. Now, most people lack the skills to have complex conversations. So therefore, when there is friction within that conversation, they get emotionally triggered and then they get derailed within that conversation and then nothing ever happens. Now, you know this from experience. Some of you guys that have actually sat down your partner and tried to talk about it, you either end up in this cycle where she ended up storming off because she was angry. And there's reasons why this is happening. So if you lack the skills to do so, you can't elicit or at least gets the issue, the real issue that's going on, because this person is not willing to have that conversation, or at least you lack the skill to have that conversation so you can actually get to the root cause of the problem. So sitting that person down and talking about it is a terrible idea. And sometimes if she's cooperative and says, okay, I'm willing to listen to what you have to say, she will think through and think, why is it that I don't want to have sex? And generally, most women would default to the fact that they're tired. And therefore, I've been doing so much around the house. I've been looking after the kids. I've had to cook after I've looked after the kids. And I've had to go to work. And oh, God, this life is so terrible. And that's how they think. And all of a sudden, you think, oh, God, I'm going to help you with that. So when I come in from work, after doing, for 40 hours per week, whatever, 8 hours per day, including travel, let's just say 10 hours. You have done 10 hours. After doing all of those 10 hours, I am going to come and do the cooking, the cleaning, the washing up, the vacuuming. I'm going to do all of that and just give you an opportunity to rest. And generally, people end up in that cycle. So that's the other information people give. So they bypass the talking, they just give you the action. So instead of doing anything, she is not giving, you're not having sex because she feels tired. She's overwhelmed with jobs. So you need to take the majority of the jobs. Oh God, such bad advice. So you end up trying to do all of these things in order to try and fix it. And then you figure out, fucking hell, this is not working. So hopefully now you can see why it's misdiagnosed, because really when it comes to the real issue that's happening with the sexless relationship, you have to think of it as though it's a seed. So the seed of sexless relationship was planted when things were good. So there's once upon a time when you're in a relationship when sex was good and it was frequent, you planted the seed of sexless relationship then. I want that to sit for a little bit so you can soak in it for a little while, because that's when it was planted. That's when that seed was planted. And a lot of you guys, when I speak to you, and I'll give you examples of how that seed was planted. A lot of it has to do with the mindset and how you look at sex. Initially, when you were high frequency sex, you got enough frequency where you thought, okay, this is the person I want to be with. We're compatible sexually, and therefore this relationship is exciting, and based off of this information, I choose to spend the rest of my life with this person because of this. And therefore, it was feeding into a part of you that valued sex in the sense of that you get the most validation from it. And you ended up having an expectation for it. And part of it, there's part of it where you started feeling a little bit entitled. There's a part of it where you felt that in terms of the relationship to continue working, or at least the measure of a good relationship is going to be the frequency of sex. So, and when you have that mindset where your measure of a good relationship is sex, it shapes how you think about sex and how you think about the relationship. And it becomes more about you rather than it being a mutual beneficial, or at least mutual beneficial acts that you do within your relationship. So because of that, because it's all about you, it's all about how I feel and why it's not happening. So, like, if you fast forward now, where you're now sexless, most people this is how they speak about it. They say, we're not having sex. We haven't had sex for over a month. I can't believe it's come to this point where it's not happening. We used to have. It's all about them, and it's never about the collaboration. So, over a period of time, when you have set that seed, because of that expectation, you've set the relationship in a sense that you are taking from the relationship. It's something that you take that belongs to you. It's something that you are within that frame of mind where you are taking from the relationship. And over a period of time, you have to look at that period as though you're playing Jenga. So you've got all these pieces that are sent. Jenga, which is a game, for you guys that don't know, it's a wooden game where you've got these rectangular blocks that you put in, I think it's threes. So you stack them up, and then you then try and pull. The game is that you pull, and then you have to pull it without dropping the thing that you've built. So the person that pulls the thing and then it drops, the ones that have lost the game. You guys are losing the game because you're all about you and what you deserve and what you're entitled with, which is you taking from the relationship, and therefore there is no value for her within that sexless or sexual encounters. There's nothing for her. There's no value because you've taken so much to the point. Now, there's stresses that happen within a relationship, and one of those is when you move in. That's a stressor, which then can start highlighting some of the issues within your relationship. Now, I was just going to touch on it, but so there's that, which then highlights a few issues within relationships. If you don't know how to deal with that, that will keep you stagnant and not fix the relationship. So, and then other stresses will be getting married, getting children. Those are all stresses that, again, put pressure on you. And if you are within that mindset of taking within the relationship, she devalues everything else that you're going to do, especially centered around sex. So can you see how, when you view it from this perspective, when it comes to fixing it, you realize that it's all about the behavior. It's all about really being collaborative and doing things that will be collaborative. Because when she feels that you're part of the thing that's giving her the source of validation, the person that is her partner, and somebody who's not taking from the relationship but in contribution, it all absolutely changes the whole way she views sex and views the relationship. So hopefully, I mean, that's a lot to unpack, but at the same time, we are going to be releasing Unleashing Unlimited Sexual Power very soon, and we'll be diving a lot deeper than I have on this episode. I was just giving you a taste of what's to come. So that's some of the stuff we'll be teaching within that free course that we're releasing. We're diving in deeper, and I can guarantee you, I could easily sell that for over $1,000. Easily sell it for that, because it's just packed with so much value. As you can see, today just what you now know in terms of diagnosis of relationship, this will serve you well trying to change your sexless relationship, because now at least you understand that you have to be doing behaviors that are centered around being collaborative and really getting to a point where she's feeling validated and you are in contribution within a relationship. And then when it comes to sexual impact, you've got more value around that. You can actually make sexual impact within your relationship when you are in contribution. So I'm very excited about that. Unleash the unlimited sexual power within your relationships. I'm excited about making that course. I'm really spending a lot of time building the material, the teaching material, having a lot of fun doing that, and I'm really looking forward to giving you guys some of this information. Like right now, I was so excited. I was doing it, and I was trying to put diagrams together, put stuff together in order to teach you some of these concepts, and especially the one about the seeds and Jenga and so on. It's been brewing over a period of time, so it's just really getting to teach you guys and really just getting you guys excited about the unleashing. I mean, like I said, it's free, but you can see just this one episode itself, easily in terms of diagnosis, it's going to set you in the right path. And it's there's that analogy: if you are on a ship and you start 3 millimeters, off course, by the end of the trip, you'd be miles and miles and miles away to the target position. So you have to start on the right trajectory, or at least the right direction, and you'll get to the place where you need to be, where you have a fulfilling relationship and it's a very successful relationship. So thank you very much, guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.